The film slash crew review Hotel Mumbai.
Yes, we do.
You ever been to Mumbai before?
No.
Birdman.
Yeah, I've been to Mumbai. Mumbai, some new stuff.
Heyo! Hey team, Angus Draken here and welcome to the Film Slice Podcast. I'm here as always with my co-host Kane Diggly Wiggly Kane Dogs.
Hi.
And Bro Diddly Doo Broadman Richards.
Formerly known as
Bro
now
Diddly
known
Doo.
as Jordan.
Kane Dogs.
Now known as Jordan.
Now known as Jordan.
There you go. All right, so we've got Kane Dogs and Jordan, and this week we are reviewing Hotel Mumbai. Kane Dogs, you want to hit us up with that IMDb summary?
I absolutely can. The true story of the Taj Hotel terrorist attack in Mumbai. Hotel staff risked their lives to keep everyone safe as
Okay, redo. It's a redo on that one.
The true story of the Taj Hotel terrorist attack in Mumbai. Hotel staff risk their lives to keep everyone safe as people make unthinkable sacrifices to protect themselves and their families. Look, I did it.
We made it. We made it through.
You're very proud of me.
We did it.
All right, so that is Hotel Mumbai. Hotel Mumbai, sweet. Let's move on to our first segment. When did you see the movie?
And what did you think?
When did you see the movie? What did you think? Do you like the movie? None of the shit.
All right, Jordan, when did you see the movie? What do you think?
I saw it a while ago.
Oh, this is going to get complicated.
And I thought it was really good.
Very good.
I really enjoyed this one.
Kane Dogs, when did you see the movie?
Yeah,
What do you
I
think?
also saw it the exact amount of time ago that Brody saw it, which was a while ago. It was at least a couple of hours ago.
Okay,
And-
Jordan, you say how many hours and I'll say how many hours at the exact same time, okay?
Okay.
3,
11,
2, 1, go.
12.
5 hours. So obviously Jordan was
how
lying.
you change your answer.
Yeah, well-
and you thought Jordan's countdown was his answer.
Yeah, well, I knew that
3, 11, 12.
Yeah, I knew Brody wasn't going to do anything, so...
No.
Very good.
We all saw it together. We saw the movie. Angus, when did you see the movie?
Yeah, thanks for letting me in on the joke, guys. Yes, we did all see it together, and
Yep.
I thought it
Jordan,
was...
Kane Dogs, and Angus. Seeing the movie together.
That's it, Angus and the two Jordans.
I'm Jordan number 1. Kane Dogs is Jordan number 2.
I've been Jordan forever, though. You've only been Jordan just now.
Yeah.
How does
More
it-
recent. First number.
How does it feel to be a Jordan?
Real bad.
Right? It sucks. Anyway, moving on.
All right, moving on.
That joke went nowhere.
I thought this film was it's a big drama, and obviously it's based on a true story. So it is quite, what's the word you would use to describe it? Like
A serious
Emotionally cutting.
yes, yeah, very emotionally cutting, a serious topic. It's very similar to a lot of Screen Australia films that I've watched. Screen Australia tends to kind of go for those biopics that are really brutal. Like there's a lot
Hard hitting.
There's a lot of blood, and kind of it doesn't really shy away from anything at all. So if you're looking for a fun time, probably not.
Go
skip
see
this one.
Go
anything
see
else.
something else.
Go see A Dog's Way Home or some other shit film.
But before we get into would we recommend it and who would we recommend it to, lads, you know how every week I put up on Instagram what movie we're reviewing, and then we ask our slicey slicers out there what they thought of the film.
I do.
And normally no one replies.
Correct.
We got one.
You got one?
We got one.
Oh, no.
This is from not.filmslice.host.
Great. Good on him.
And they say, non-gender specific, they say, I didn't see it.
Okay, fair.
So that's good.
Well, Did
There
you... So that's Brody.
No,
Jordan.
it says not.filmslice.host.
Did you type that in before we saw the film?
What is it? Is it Instagram?
Yeah, Instagram.
I don't write it.
Yeah, Instagram. Well, there we go.
I
So
saw the
that's-
film, so obviously it's not me.
Well, whoever it is, and it's you, keeps posting pictures of me with shitty comments.
All right. So that's what our Slicey Slices thought of the film this week. Kane Dogs, anyone hit you up on Facey?
Nah.
Did you remember to put it up on
did,
Facey?
yeah.
Oh, very good.
Yeah, but
I'm proud of you.
no one cared.
Good stuff. All right.
Mum and Dad
Let's-
are seeing this movie. I don't know if they think it's any good, but they're saying it.
Oh, well, that's...
Yeah.
I guess
Thanks
stay
for the-
tuned for
No,
a
I
review
don't-
that you'll never
nah.
get.
Oh, wait, now hang on. We do have some comments. I did get a few comments on the Captain Marvel one that people put up about 2 hours after we'd recorded it.
Uh-huh.
So I'm just going to go back and address that.
Okay. I see where this is going.
Firstly, Jay Den, who commented, said, I hate this movie. It's the worst movie I've ever seen, and I hate it and will forever hate it. Kirby Hines says it's no Guardians of the Galaxy, but I thought it was a decent origin story for a character who a lot of people didn't really know about. Just a bit of backstory so we can make Avengers Endgame a lot better. And then Nathan Clinic wrote, we had a lot of comments after the fact.
After the back.
Tends to happen.
Nathan Clinic wrote, was a little disappointed. She is way... Oh, wait, no, we read that one. Okay, cool. Yep, nailed it.
All right, we're all good.
Yep.
Super. Well, that was last week. So thanks, Slicey Slices. Where the hell were you then?
Thanks, Jordan, for keeping up to date.
Yeah, thanks again, Dogs, for keeping up to date.
Next time, if you could do this week's podcast
That'd be
during
great.
this week, that'd be great.
That'd be great. That's right. Okay, so this week we are reviewing Back to Hotel Mumbai. Game Dogs, would you recommend it? Who would you recommend it to?
Look, I think as we said earlier, this is a very serious film. So if you're someone that is going to watch this movie to analyze it or to learn something about what happened, then absolutely. But if you're looking for a fun time at the movies, probably not. Yeah, not really a fun time, but certainly educational.
Fair enough. Good flick.
Is that your input? It's a good flick.
Yeah, that's mine. I would recommend this one. I would recommend this one. People go watch this. This is a good film. Yeah, obviously it's not the Marvel or shitty DC film of the week.
Jeez,
but
fucking take that, DC.
Brutal.
They've been taking it for years.
Hey-o!
It's really good. It's shot really, really well. All of the performances are really, really like excellent, and the story is really, really interesting. And it's like on the edge of your seat, kind of suspense and very emotional, all in one neat little basket.
Definitely. Yeah, I also would recommend, only if you're keen on kind of, sitting through that. It is a big effort to kind of sit through all of it and watch it for its entirety. It's very based in reality. So, I guess we'll get into it in spoilers a bit more, but there's a few things where in a normal film, things would happen, but this one, it just kind of drags out and on. And yeah, it's a bit brutal. It's... Screen Australia had quite a big hand in this, and Screen Australia tends to go for those kind of more gritty, realistic kind of things.
What else have they done?
There's this one film that I can't remember as. I just remembered his name. Hold on, and you know Anthony LaPaglia?
No.
No, I also don't know who that is.
So you'll know him. He's an Australian actor, but he was on CSI.
He looks familiar.
Yeah. Okay, so so Screen Australia, there's another film that this really reminds me of, which is a film called Ballabo, and basically it's about Australian reporters that went over to, I think it was Indonesia, back when that was kind of getting invaded, and it was all about Australians kind of, they didn't have a piece in the war, so they thought that they were immune to the fighting and everything, and it's kind of a real gritty representation of that and what happened to reporters that, as well based on a true story, kind of lost their lives. So it's very much the same kind of strand as Ballabo. So if you've seen Ballabo and you enjoyed it, then definitely give this one a watch. It's got quite a few actors. It's definitely kind of more of an ensemble cast, I would say, than anyone that kind of sticks out. But Dev Patel is in it, and I absolutely love Dev Patel. He was in Lion. He was the adult version of the guy main character in Lion, and he also did Slumdog Millionaire, which obviously did amazing at the Oscars and stuff like that. So
Armie Hammer? Is it Armie Hammer as well?
Armie Hammer was in here, yeah.
Yep.
He was
Hammer.
He was an American.
Yeah. So if you're into that kind of stuff, would definitely recommend. But if you are going on a first date with your girlfriend, probably not.
Oh, that'd be an intense first date.
Yeah, you'd want to hope
first
that you were both film buffs. But I would.
So I'm recommending this as a first date. Let me know how it goes.
I would stay away from this film if it was a first
No,
date.
do it. Message me.
Yeah, do it.
All right. So that's all spoilers done. Lads, do you want to talk about anything else spoiler free before we get into it?
No, I'm comfortable.
Yeah, sweet. All right, Jordan.
Jordan is talking to you.
I don't like this at all.
No, I'm good. I'm ready to go into the spoilers.
All right, let's head on into spoilers. Sound the alarm.
No, Brody. The spoiler. You do this every time. The spoiler alarm.
The spoiler alarm? Okay. Oh, what a cool sound effect, Angus.
All right, we are in the spoiler section where we dissect and divulge everything about the film.
Yep.
You've been warned.
Shane warned.
We know you're listening.
Continue, Angus.
Starting off with Cinema Dicks. Now,
Cinema
this
Dick.
is going to be a short segment
I've got one.
considering
Oh.
we all went to see the same screening.
Yeah, so I won't take the one that either you two might have. But
Okay.
anyway, Jordan sat in between me and Angus.
No.
So I had to reach over him to get to the popcorn that Angus bought for the two of us, which was very, very annoying.
I sat down.
Mainly for me, I was very annoyed. It didn't annoy anyone else, but it annoyed me a lot.
Brody went around and actively
Jordan,
chose
I think
to
we're
sit-
running out of time for your input. We've only got enough time for Jordan's input. John's already has input. No time for the second Jordan.
Wait, who's speaking?
That's me, Jordan.
Jordan's just talking about himself in third person.
Yeah.
You guys are
understand.
3 years old. Angus, what
yeah.
is our cinema dick that you also will have?
So there was an old lady behind us.
There was indeed.
That
And we
kind
hate
of-
old ladies.
We do hate old ladies.
Hate all of them.
No. This particular old lady did, I guess, what you would call state the obvious.
Yes. Live commentary.
Live commentary, and not just silently to her partner next to her. No, she let the whole cinema know. So,
What are they going to do?
Yeah. Oh no, what are they going to do? There was.
But if they do that, then they're going to get caught.
Yeah, there was a scene where like they've got like a whole bunch of people sneaking around the hotel. I mean, the whole film's pretty much a whole bunch of people sneaking around to the hotel.
Yeah.
But one in
nice to
particular.
spoil it all.
We're in spoilers. But one scene in particular where they were trying to be silent, crossing the place, and a lady was wearing high heels, and it kind of clip-clopped across the tiles in the hotel, and this woman just kind of yelled out, "Take your shoes off!" You idiot.
She'd clearly been watching Die Hard.
Yeah. I did have, to be fair, I did have the same thought.
Yeah, but we didn't say it out loud.
Interestingly
But we
enough,
didn't say it
Angus,
out loud.
your thought didn't immediately turn into words that you
This
spoke
is true.
out loud.
This is true. She also said something else right at the end.
The one
What
that
did she
really
say?
annoyed me was there was one point where a guy was trying to escape, and it was quite a tension-built moment because he was about to go around the corner, and the audience could see that around the corner was one of the terrorists holding an assault rifle. And so you were waiting for that gunshot, and right before it happened, she was like, "Oh, he's going to get shot."
Brutal. Yeah, no good. Okay, so yeah, that was I mean the main cinema dick really.
Yeah, it's just a bit weird. That also, I find it really weird when cinemas have incredibly bright fire exit signs.
Yes.
Because like this cinema had one on each side, so they're just two just kind of giant, extremely bright green lights that just shine permanently into your eyes while you're in like a dark room.
Yeah, definitely.
It's just weird.
No good.
No
All
good.
right, get your shit together, cinemas.
Yeah.
As a whole. Or cinemas in a whole, am I right? Hey.
What?
We went to Jordan's local cinema.
Okay, yeah, I get it.
Take that, my hometown.
Take that, Jordan's hometown. Wait, no, that's me.
Cane Dogs' hometown?
Cane Dogs' hometown, there you go. Take that, Cane Dogs' shit place.
All right, let's head into our most
Our favourite
positives
things.
of the film. Yeah, what were our favourites?
I can take a leap forward with this one if you like, Angie man.
Please do.
My favourite thing in this was that, well, not favourite, it was positive. The violence was really brutal and cutting.
Yeah.
It was very, very shocking and
Yep.
also felt very, very real, which had that wasn't a word, the desired effect, which is, it was all very, very kind of like straight to the nerves, if that makes sense. It's like it kind of just cut through any like, oh, I've seen a million movies where a million people get shot, but all of the people in this film getting shot was just like, oh jeez, it felt so real and so kind of heartless, and it just like cut like straight through, cut deep.
And at the same time, it also didn't actually show a lot of like there weren't any close-ups of someone being shot. Like it
There's
actually
a lot of
it
people
cut
got
away
killed.
to almost every time someone
Yeah.
fired the gun, but it still had the impact, the
Definitely.
desired impact. And I think one of the things that it did really well that most action films don't do is it shows the severity of a gun. Like it,
Yeah.
in a
Yeah,
lot of
for sure.
films, when you watch films like this, you can picture one guy, like, you know, taking down a gunman, or one guy solely taking down like a couple of dudes with guns. This film is like, no, they have a gun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, that's it. Like, I think my main positive, kind of going off of that, is like in nowadays, you know, all the films that we watch, we kind of get desensitized to violence and weapons as a whole and everything. And
Yeah.
throughout this film, like when there were people sneaking around, I'm like, oh, this would be a perfect time to sneak up behind the gunman and try and, you know, choke
But
him out or
someone
knock him
usually
out.
tried that, and they always just
But-
got shot immediately.
Yeah, it's like, it's not like no, this isn't an action story. This isn't a heroic action story. Like you could lose your life doing this. And I think that this film really portrayed how powerful
Firearms are, and you know, Yeah.
especially in kind of a world that doesn't, you know, necessarily readily have them available. Like the situation was that like wasn't really any military personnel, or like the police force wasn't very big in Mumbai at the time, so what did they spend, like 9 hours or something? Just
12 plus.
12 plus hours like dodging bullets. And this movie just made you feel every kind of single shot.
Yeah.
And like, I guess the other thing that I really like going off of that was that no characters were safe. It was kind of
Yeah.
like a Game of Thrones type feel where you're
You
like,
didn't know who was going to survive.
like
You weren't like, oh, they're a main actor, they'll be fine.
exactly like right at the start of the film, they kind of introduced a few main actors and
interesting characters too.
Yeah,
They all had
yeah.
really interesting, and they all had depth. Whereas in a film like this, usually you have maybe one main character and like their family, and then every other character is a character, but they're quite two-dimensional. Every single character here had something to lose and a reason to be afraid, and you felt that for every character.
Yeah, but then there was like even like good or bad, right? So like some characters were like kind of almost not evil, but they were just bad people, and you're like, oh, I don't really care if he survives or not.
Yeah,
And then the
yeah.
other characters were really, really nice, really good, and you're like, oh, I don't know who's gonna die, and you
Really
kind of,
hope they- yeah.
it was just very suspenseful.
Actually, I disagree with you a little bit, bro, because there's one character here he's set up to be like a punce, like a total dick through the whole first half of the film. But by the end of it, you sort of see that even people like, he's a prick, but he has humanity. Like when seriousness dropped,
this is a Russian guy.
Yeah.
so there's a character in here, and
Ex-special forces.
he's like a Russian guy, and all you know about him from the beginning is just that like he's a bit of a punce, and he's difficult to please, and
He's
all
got
of that sort of
prostitutes
stuff,
in his
and
Yeah.
bedroom, like waiting
all
for
of
him in
that,
his
and he
bedroom.
couldn't give a fuck about anybody else's life, and he doesn't care if he's being rude. But then by the end of it, he does his best to sort of look after people. Like once the serious moment hits, you realize that at the end, regardless of what people think or what people sort of believe or how much someone is a dick, everyone sort of tried to look after each other as much as themselves. And that, I think, was actually really important. I didn't see anyone as being like, oh, they're a dick, I'm fine if they get shot. Because by the time they did get
What
shot...
about the guy only ever caring about himself, and he even like called up like some random person and told him exactly where they were hiding and like the entire news.
Yeah, no,
And he
fuck
was-
that guy.
Yeah, fuck
No,
that guy, man.
I actually disagree with that too. I think because in that situation, I can understand that you wouldn't think clearly. You'd want to feel a need to tell as many people as possible where you are in hopes that numbers of that knowledge would make you feel safer.
Yeah.
So we were shown as an audience how that immediately impacted everybody negatively, but I don't believe he was a bad person. Because that potentially is something that happened in real life, including that guy making that call. And I reckon everybody who did that was doing everything they thought they needed to be doing. But this does bring me to my positive.
Yep. Go for it.
Which is that casting someone like Armie Hammer, who is usually an action hero in recent films, was an incredible move because it brings the audience into a false sense of security in what they're going to see. When I saw Armie Hammer, and even in the trailer, I thought, all right, this is going to go in a bit of a Die Hard kind of direction. And that even even greater sort of emphasized that no, this is real life. You can't just do that stuff.
Yeah, definitely.
And so by giving us a lead like Armie Hammer and then putting him in scenarios where usually the protagonist of a film would, disarm all the bad guys and then yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker. And at every turn, he got shut down. Did a great job of taking the audience back into reality of the scenario.
I disagree. I didn't like Armie Hammer's casting for this film. He was like one of the few people I didn't like cast in this.
Yeah.
And it's just because every time I saw him, I just couldn't help but think, like what you were saying, I couldn't help but think of like an action hero. And I was like, I'd rather see someone who's like a real person play this role than just the other action hero.
Yeah, okay.
In this role. Does that make sense?
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. Yeah, I kind of agree. I guess that's kind of going into our negatives. Jordan, do you want to lead on into our negatives?
Yeah, sure thing. Take it away, Jordan.
I don't have a lot of negatives. I think my biggest negative with this maybe is... I actually don't. I'm really struggling to think of one.
Struggling to find one,
I think potentially one of my main negatives is I would have actually liked to have spent more time with the terrorists, I think. This film did show that although they are clearly, people out to commit heinous crimes,
they believe they're doing a good right thing.
Yeah, the film did attempt to give them depth and explain why they thought that and why they'd been misled to do such terrible things. And I would have liked that to be explored a little bit further. But that's not so much a negative. Maybe there was a part where there was like a CGI flame and I was like, that brought me out a little bit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't have a lot of negatives. I think the only negative to be said about this film is it's not really a good time.
It's very
It's
heavy.
not a good time,
It's
but
a
it's
very
a
heavy
good
film.
movie.
It's pretty heavy, yeah.
Yeah.
Good question. It's a pretty great film, to be honest. There's like little things, like I'm not too sure what the point of the film was, other than just to show like what happened.
Just
so,
to
like,
kind of document it.
Yeah, but even then, it's based on a true story. It's not a documentary, right?
Yeah.
So like, I'm curious. Was there a documentary made of this film? Made of this event? Because
sure.
I would be curious to see the differences between like the documentary.
I'm sure there
and
would be. I'm gonna go out on a limb and say that there absolutely is a point to this movie, and I think one of the points to this movie, and I'm not going to get political here, but it shows that a lot of the people that are extremists share the same faith as the people that got caught in that scenario. And I think there are certainly people out there that need to see this movie to understand that. And I think this movie demonstrates that point correctly.
Obviously quite a political agenda, and I don't know enough about the history between, the two kind of religions to really comment on that. But
yeah.
It's definitely such a complex topic, and I think this movie just does a really good job of,
Fair enough.
kind of just taking it a piece out of time. Birdman, like I do kind of get it. Like it's not a movie that you go out to watch for fun. Like I am struggling to find a reason you'd want to go out and watch this movie unless it was to to relive that certain time.
I mean, unless you were some dumb idiot who've agreed to do a podcast with your mates.
Yeah,
and then...
yeah, exactly. Like again,
like Jordan.
Yeah, like you.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Fantastic film, but it's heavy. Like I don't think I'm gonna watch it again just because
Yeah, no, I don't think I could.
It's really brutal and really realistic.
Really brutal.
And like I think I definitely appreciate that, because going into the next films, like doing our action films and watching all of our superhero films and all that kind of stuff, like you do kind of get a bit desensitized to violence and all that, and this kind of just sticks it way
I think I'm going to use this film to compare like the violence to other films, because I think this film did a very, very good job at any kind of like I don't know, I wouldn't call it an action sequence. Any sort of
any high intensity pressure scenario,
gun related sequence. I think this film did an excellent job in that aspect. So I will definitely compare this film to other films in like that aspect. But I don't think I'm going to watch this one again, because it is very brutal, very kind of like emotionally draining, and confronting as well.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Negatives. I'm trying to think of any negatives.
It's tough to think of them.
It's really hard to think of them just because it's so kind of, and
it's really well made. It's an incredibly put together movie.
Yeah.
and I won't say that I'm not going to say that I enjoyed watching it, but I'm really glad I did see it.
Definitely, yeah.
I don't think, as I said, I don't think I can recommend other people to go and see this, but if you do, I don't think you walk out wishing you hadn't. I think it's an incredible film.
I think maybe, like, I understand why they did it. They ended on quite a good note of, like, everyone, like, kind of, you know...
The people that survived.
The protagonists
the
that we
survivors.
followed sort of got... Like, at least some of them got some sort of closure.
But I'd be curious to see if they could have ended it on a bit more of, like, a... Kind of just, like, a mid-note of, like...
This
maybe
is
like
still going on today kind of thing.
Yeah, that, or maybe like detectives going through the hotel and looking over all of the horrific like scenery, just so you kind of left on that very confronting kind of like cuts to the core kind of visuals.
Definitely.
And imagery.
Well, that's one thing that I was kind of thinking is like, if this is based on a true story, like how do they know exactly what happened? Like, how did they figure out this person was actually there and all that kind of stuff? And it would have been interesting to see, that kind of documented side of it. Like,
it'd be interesting to know how many of the protagonists we followed were based off real people, or whether they were written protagonists.
Yeah.
So just completely
describe
fictional.
The events. Yeah.
Yeah. But even then, I don't even know if that would make it better. I'd just be curious.
Yeah.
It's a very, very good, very, very well done, well put together.
Yeah, sweet. So I think like the general consensus is this is a fantastic film. Real heavy, hard hitting, not your everyday fun romp, as Cane Dogs you would say.
Yep. Not a fun romp, but a good one.
A good one, like
But a good one.
Would recommend if you're ready for something kind of heavy and dark and realistic and gritty and all that kind of jazz. Anything else to say, lads, before we?
No, I think we've touched on most of it.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah.
Sick one. Oh, just one more thing. They like a lot of kind of biopics and stuff these days. They kind of integrate kind of real world media coverage,
actual footage,
like actual footage in with the movie as well.
Yeah.
And I think that was done really well as well.
Quite seamlessly blended as well.
In some
And they filmed some stuff to make it look like real footage as well. Like, I think they might have even gone to the effort and filmed stuff on like old cameras, because there was like some scenes where they were like interrogating one of the terrorists, and it was like it looked pretty real.
Yeah, definitely.
I'd be interested to know if this movie was filmed at the Taj Mahal.
Taj Mahal? What?
Oh, not the Taj
Taj
Mahal.
Hotel.
The Taj Hotel. Yeah.
I imagine it would have been. Yeah, I imagine it would have been, because there was. I mean, I don't know if you noticed, but at the start of the film, there was quite a lot of production companies that I'd never heard of before, and I assume they're kind of local
Based in
production
Mumbai.
companies. Yes. Sweet, cool. That's our thoughts on
Hotel Mumbai.
Hotel Mumbai. Cane Dogs. What are we reviewing next week?
Hotel Mums, see you again.
Hey.
See you later.
I'm glad you bring it up. Star is Born Encore.
Really?
No. But that is out.
I mean, I'd watch it.
Fighting with My Family.
Oh, yeah. A little light-hearted comedy just to...
Dwayne The Rock Johnson
swap it out.
pretends to be 40 years younger with no de-aging.
Does
What
he
an
really-
ego.
He doesn't need de-aging, though. He's a rock. Rocks don't age.
Rocks live for a very long time.
bleed either.
My God. All right, sweet. So what's it called again?
Fighting with My Family.
Fighting with My Family. Next week we're reviewing Fighting with My Family. Make sure you go see it. Hit us up on your thoughts. Even if you don't see it, hit us up on your thoughts. Let us know, and we'll chuck it in next week's podcast.
Also,
Sweet.
if you want to go and follow not.filmslice.host on Instagram, whoever they are, they've already got 15 followers. That's a little bit over
You've got 15
a little
followers.
bit over 1/10 of Jordan's followers. So let's go and follow them. Get your friends, get
Yeah,
your
let's get
family,
'em.
get your children to all follow Not Film Slice Host.
It's
Go
just
do
you posting shitty pictures of me that you've
It's
taken
not
whilst I'm
me.
not
They
on guard.
even said that they didn't see the film. It's not me. Follow them, please.
Definitely.
follow them.
Definitely go follow
Oh
them.
no.
Thank you for listening to the Film Slice Podcast. You can reach us on Twitter. You can reach us on Instagram. Make sure you bloody do. Don't bloody don't. All right.
Yeah, it's not.
Don't
Film
you
Slice,
dare
no.
don't.
All right.
How
see next
dare
week.
you don't.
Bye.
Bye.